Everything tech, anime, manga, games, and more are coming up as ASPHERE'S Cafe is next. Hello everyone, and welcome to the cafe. Today is Monday, March 16, 2026, and yes, we are back with another episode of our cafe. So, how are you all doing so far? And as usual, we will be doing our latest in tech happenings, and of course, we gonna tackle on what's on. We're gonna tackle on the Telegram scam that has been going on for a while now. So, how are you all doing so far? And by the way, shout out to most of our Discord audience. We have Sapir Craft, we have Kuya Branch. That is and the GJG already left when I was about to shout him out, but that's okay. But yeah. All right. So if you are curious why I didn't do my show last Thursday and Friday, well, last Thursday, I was busy preparing for Cool News Prime Time, which is why I wasn't able to do my show. And there is a possibility that I might not even be able to do my Thursday show anymore. I don't know because um, every Thursday is where I'm assigned to do Cool News Prime Time before, yeah, which means I will have to start looking for my other co-host who can do the gaming. So yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, I will not. I may or may not be able to do Thursday edition anymore because, the gaming. I mean, cool news rather because I will be busy preparing for cool news, and I went through a lot of how rough, how hard or how it's being done by the brand new news director that is Mito Dori Tachibana. So yeah, it really hits hard because I haven't been into news journalism for a while now, and it is what it is because you know, it's not easy when I'm doing a TOC, being in the news anchor at TOC and also hosting my show at the same time. It's not that easy because yeah, it's not easy as you would expect because it's hard and hard and hard. And now with cool news getting more and more in par with the real journalism, with real journalistic background. Yeah, that is to the point that I may not be able to do my Thursday edition of ASPHERE'S Cafe anymore. But the Thursday edition might still live on. Who knows? But if I would be keeping my Thursday edition, that also means I will need to start looking for my relief or fill-in host who can do the gaming news on Thursday. And as for the Friday now, I didn't do my show either because I was taking a day rest from Cool News. So yeah, which explains why I didn't do my show as well. All right, without any further ado now, let's get into our tech cafe. And the most important thing to talk about is, well, when I was scrolling to the or when I have been notified on my phone that there is a list of credit card credentials or credit card numbers being sold on Telegram. Oh no! So let's get my screen share up and I will be showing you in a bit. So let me just get my Firefox here and let me see, is it loaded yet? No, not yet. Alright, let me bring up my digital banks PH. Alright, I don't know where did the post go. I'm pretty sure it's still somewhere here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's still there, right? I'm pretty sure it's not taken down yet. Alright, you know what? Let me go to the notifications. I'm pretty sure it should still be there. I think. Oh, it's not here? What? Okay. Alright, you know what? Let me just type Telegram and then I will be I will be putting my screen share there. But anyway, we are live on Cool FM as well as on koolTV, but and also on our Facebook. Sorry, also on our social media pages via Facebook via TG1 Cool FM Manila, YouTube on koolTV, and ASPHERE'S Cafe as Media. All right, so let's type Telegram. I'm pretty sure they haven't take the post down. All right, there it is. Telegram selling credit card numbers. So we need to talk a little about this one because this one is pretty bad. And I mean it. It's really bad. And this genuinely pisses me off when you know that it's when you know shit's serious, huh? When you know that shit is really serious. So let's dive into this that further. So as you can see on my screen, you can see that according to on OP, there is an alleged channel that sells credit card numbers, and I was really disturbed. I was really disturbed seeing how it goes. And as for some reason, it looks like my Firefox is for some reason is acting sluggish. So okay, yeah, it's still loading. I'm not even sure why. I might have to switch to Brave browser if it's getting slow, or maybe for whatever reason my computer can't keep it up. Maybe if I switch to I don't know, wait, am I even logged into Reddit on Brave yet? Oh no, I'm not. I'm not logged in. Okay, I am not logged in there. But it does load images quickly. Let me just deal with the login for a while. But man, I like it. What I'm saying right here, guys. What I'm saying is really bad. Okay, yeah. What you're about to see is very disturbing. Yes. You can see for some reason the images load very slowly. But yeah, if we open the screenshot, yeah, you can see there is this Telegram channel called Shani Shop, where they allegedly sell cheap Spotify, Netflix, you name it. Spotify, Netflix, or any other service accounts like ChatGPT too. Not just Netflix, Spotify, but also ChatGPT, or any other familiar service you may have heard of. But yeah, as you are seeing, but wait, for some reason it's still slow in loading, but yeah. Okay, okay, okay. It should be loading by now. There it is. Yeah. Okay. So as you are seeing in the first screenshot, it's still loading, but you can see very closely that they already have this. Okay, open na. Paline up. Kayo please. And if the screenshot decides to load or not, there it is. Look, they got the luxury stuff by using these stolen credit card credentials. You heard that? They they got the expensive stuff by just using these stolen credit card credentials. Oh no. And still, as you can see, yeah, rose petal drops. I don't even know what that is, but it's you can see it's still loading as of I speak here. There it is. Oh, okay, so that it's a perfume for what I'm seeing here. Yeah, okay. Let me just zoom in. Oops. Right. Let me just okay, so you can see she's asking if this is worth to steal. And yeah. Yeah. Why do people have to be like this, huh? Why do people need to act like this? But you get what I mean, guys. You get what I mean. Because if they don't do anything, it's really bad. But yeah, in Tagalog, it said, worth it ang pagnanakaw? Yes. And then you have the emoji, you have a crying emoji. Damn. Like, yeah. And oh, what's this? Ah, yes. The stolen video credit card numbers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shit is getting serious. What I'm saying is, shit is getting really serious. So, yeah, not good. It's not good. And yeah, the second screenshot is still loading, so I might not waste any more time trying to get it to load on my Firefox. So let me just switch to the Brave browser, which I'm still in a sign out state as I'm saying right now. Let me just try logging in with Google. So I can admit that the Chromium browsers perform better than Firefox when it comes to loading images. Because Firefox, yeah, I I really want to go back and use Firefox as my main browser, trying to shift away from Chromium, but I can't because yeah, there are still some rough edges from what I am seeing on Firefox. So let's switch over to Brave browser so I can be quick here. So here is the second screenshot. There it is. There it is. It's only Tagalog, but I can say it here. It's should I get this for 5,210 pesos? And then there's yeah. And then okay. And of course, look at this. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, of course. Yes. And then they're going to put it in a pawn shop. Like, bro, do they have no idea that this is that they're committing? Do they have no idea that they're committing a cybercrime? Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the next one. Of course, they're putting Zalora gift card 5K for sale in a cheap price. And of course, as you can see, this is the stolen credit card numbers, and they even have the CVV codes too. Oh yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Am I even logged in? Okay, I just have to refresh it. Okay, okay, okay. Here it is. So this was posted 2 days ago, mind you. I know I'm a bit late, but I mean, I still have to tackle this anyway because this is really bad. And what else? Should have reported first. Kaya, you guys should not support people who. True. And let me say this. And let me say this why. Number one, if because I'm pretty sure I have seen the listings of selling cheap Netflix, Spotify accounts before on Shopee and Lazada, and when I connected the dots, now I know. Okay, now I know why you should not support this because I say it loud and clear. It's well, you never know what happens when their account gets suspended. I mean, what I'm saying is that you'll never know when you get violated for when you get suspended for violating terms of service, right? That's the problem too. And yeah, what else? We also got another screenshot right here. Oh look, available accounts. So they're selling foreign cards. Ah, yeah, foreign credit cards. Huh? Foreign credit cards. What is this? Cards are being issued by BDO. Okay. So based from this reply, most of the credit card numbers are taken from are taken from sorry, most of the credit card numbers are from BDO. Yeah, most of the cards are from BDO. So, should we really be surprised for that? Should we really be surprised? I don't know. But, yeah. But whatever you have encountered this is not good. So, and of course, after people discovering the Telegram channel, Telegram took action, and you got this. This channel can't be displayed because it violated Telegram's terms of service. Huh. And I can say it's that well deserved. Well deserved. There's a special place in hell for these people. Worded ang pananakaw, or it's word stealing is worded heist. Yeah, true. So people, ladies, and so people, please don't take this as your inspiration to do these silly actions because, yeah, it's bad. You're going to get into. You're only asking yourself into more trouble, and you should not be committing that crime. So, yeah, if ever you encounter Telegram channels selling if you ever encounter Telegram channels selling credit card numbers, I highly encourage you to report to NBI as soon as possible. Or if you're not in the Philippines, contact your local police authority or your local cybercrime division as soon as possible. But as for the Philippines, if you're in the Philippines, yeah, contact NBI cybercrime division. Don't wait, because there are people that can run away and later they can't trace it. So don't wait. You have to start taking action by contacting NBI Cybercrime Division, or if you're not in the Philippines, at least contact your local cybercrime division. So yeah, thankfully Telegram already took action, and I'm pretty sure by now they're not around, but they may still be around, but eventually they will be traced down. Mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. Mark my words, they're going to be traced down. The moment when I say this, and I mean it, because no one will tolerate their actions, huh? No one will. They won't. Alright, it is now 6:51, and I also have one more thing before we head over to commercial break. Let me just find what Mido sent me, because Mido has contributed to my cafe, and that is something with Buzzfeed. So let's see if I have it up here. There it is. So yeah, according to CNN, Buzzfeed is in substantial doubt to continue as a business. So this may or may not be a good news, rather, or this may or may not be a good news as it seems. So let's get the CNN article up. There it is. So let's restart my screen share, and then yeah, we will be tackling this as well. All right. So in its earnings report released Thursday, or last Thursday rather, BuzzFeed said it has engaged in strategic conversations about relieving its liquidity issues. So the founder and CEO Jonah Peretti said, "We believe there is a gap between the value of our individual assets and our market capitalization that suggests significant unrecognized upside." And Omar said in the earnings statement, "We're exploring strategic options to complete the work we started years ago and position the company to operate profitably on a sustainable basis." So Peretti gave a hint on what that could look like in a statement. In 2026, our focus is demonstrating the value of our brands, studio IP, and new AI apps to the market. So, yeah, whatever that means to BuzzFeed would be, well, are they shifting from are they shifting from being a viral content hub to working on AI? We don't know. So whoever whatever happens may happen. So yeah, I can't say much about BuzzFeed, but there you go, guys. So what are your thoughts on BuzzFeed being in substantial doubt where if they can stay in business? And what do you think is gonna happen to BuzzFeed? I will love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, there you go. So that's our first round of our tech cafe, and with that, it is now 6:54 p.m. as we will be returning with more cafe headlines and yeah, we will be returning with. Oh, I don't know what just happened here. Let me see. Oh no, my earbuds died. Anyway, we will be returning with more tech cafe headlines right here on ASPHERE'S Cafe. But let's shout out to our family sponsors. We have Del Sound, MSA Gatas, Kapinoy Coffee, Melody Mart, and Always Grocery. We will be right back after the break. Stay along with us.
Pagkagising sa umagang umangon at kumain ng sapat, gatas ang kailangan para lumusog ang katawan, pero may solusyon dyan. Ito ang MSI Gatas. Uminom ng MSI Gatas.
Ada Morella po, mag-MSA Gatas para iinumin ang gatas. Sarap. Mag-MSA Gatas na. 69 na piso SRP sa suking tindahan.
The use of milk supplements must only be upon the advice of a health professional.
Ay naku, kakapagod mag-drive. Kailangan ko ng mainom.
Uhaw ba ka mo?
Who's that voice?
O ito, Miralles Cola Orange.
Teka, ito ba'y may iron, taurine, at B vitamins?
Correct! Try mo!
Oh wow, it's refreshing. Thanks, Billy.
Pwede mo rin yan araw-arawin 6 to. Para mas masigla ang araw, mag Miralles Cola na!
15 pesos na lang.
Bili na! Miralles Cola.
Hay naku, nakaka-stress talaga ang traffic. Pagdating ko sa bahay, napahiga na lang ako sa sopa. Yun tuloy, sumakit na ang ulo ko. Reset.
Headache? May solusyon dyan. Introducing PD Pharma Paracetamol Anti-Fever Capsule. Bukod sa lagnat, panlaban rin yan sa sakit ng ulo. May bisa ng paracetamol para balik-sigla ka na mula umaga hanggang gabi.
Ayos na ng pakiramdam ko ah. Salamat sa PD Pharma Paracetamol.
Basta paracetamol, hanapin ang nakatatak. PD Pharma.
Dito na tayo sa JA, kung saan lahat ay okay sa JA. Lahat dito ay super mura, lahat mga manga dito sa JA. Sa JA, napatunayan na ng bayan, wala namang iba. Quality shopping ang aming dala, mapapa-JA talaga kayo. Ang supermarket namin ay JA. Achoo! 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 Masakit. Drink masakit.
Make your sauce tastier with O-Spend mayonnaise. Mix, dip, and eat. Sarap. Make your meals deliciously neat with O-Spend mayonnaise.
It's morning sunrise. It's time to buy another bread. Guyme's original pandan-thai, made from real wheat flour, sugar, milk, butter, salt, all, and yeast for better taste and better smooth, fluffy, and extra soft. Price only at 20 pesos for 10 pandensil and 40 pesos for 20 pandensil. Available on Guyme's Bake Shop and other bakery stores nationwide.
Mira drinking water. Fresh, cool, calm.
Every sunrise brings a new story, and every story begins with a single journey. At Zakish Airlines, we believe travel isn't just about reaching your destination. It's about the experience that carries you there. From comfort that feels like home, to service that feels like family, we make sure your moments in the sky are unforgettable. Because when you fly with us, the world is closer than you think. Zakish Airlines, your world within reach.
Hi guys! Init na init ng panahon. Mapapagod pa pagkatapos maglaro ng basketball. Iniisip niya ano-anong dapat na inumin ito. Eto na lang, uminom ng Sinsis Lime, ang soda drink na may lasa ng lime para ma-refresh ang iyong lalamunan at ang iyong katawan. Fresh, diba? Sinsis Lime, nakaka-fresh talaga to.
Kasi naantan, no? Pero don't worry mga lods. Flex lang itong Peanut Antivirus. G para sa secure na browsing. G para sa secure na computer. At G para sa secure na Pilipinas.
Download and install Peanut Antivirus now. Dito na tayo sa JA, kung saan lahat ay okay sa JA. Lahat dito ay super mura, lahat mga manga dito sa JA. Sa JA, napatunayan na ng bayan, wala namang iba. Quality shopping ang aming dala, mapapa-JA talaga kayo. Ang supermarket namin ay JA.
Kahit saan, sisig ng ina mo. Lunod ka sa saya, mula sa Pampagana hanggang sa dulo.
Ang sisig na hinahanap-hanap mo ay nasa sisig ng ina mo na. For just 70 pesos, may legit na kapampangan na sisig ka na with soft drinks and sabaw. Dito lang yan sa sisig ng ina mo.
I'm an all-around media personality. Of course, I read books. Because not only they give me knowledge, but they're also a form of entertainment. What you're seeing right now are few of the best-selling brands of GSCA Kent Media. At iilan pa yan, marami pa yan ha. Basta, hanapin nyo lang ang logo na to. The Philippines' leading premier #1 awesome publisher GSCA Kent Media. Because reading is indispensable.
It's morning sunrise. It's time to buy another bread. Guyanese original panenday, made from real wheat flour, sugar, milk, butter, salt, all, and yeast for better taste and better smooth, fluffy, and extra soft. Price only at 20 pesos for 10 pandensal and 40 pesos for 20 pandensal. Available on Guyanese Bake Shop and other bakery stores nationwide.
Inspire any Filipino's choice. Introducing O-Spend Mineral Water, made from 100% pure mountain water. Distilled, fresh, approved by Filipinos.
I choose O-Spend Mineral Water.
Mabango ang hair. Hindi lang ang hair, smooth pa rin. Thanks to O-Spend Shampoo with 100% natural coconut cream. May long-lasting bango, kaya di lang mabango, bango smooth pa.
Canyon Choco Biscuit. With extra chocolate and extra creamer in one biscuit, will give a delicious chocolate taste. You'll want to try it again.
Canyon Choco Biscuit. Feel the Choco vibes.
Nutro low-fat milk. It has the same creamy neutral goodness with lesser fat and lesser calories. And now, it's rich with even more vitamins and minerals. More nutrients, less fat, less calories. So good you'll float. Nutro low-fat milk. Breast milk is still best for babies.
Iron, taurine, and B vitamins is the key for PD Cola.
PD Cola!
25 pesos lang, saan ka ba? Ang pagiging news anchor at journalist, hindi biro ang naging trabaho ko. Mula sa aking pagbasa ng script hanggang matapos ang aking newscast. Hay nako, nakakapagod talaga. Ang saklap pa. Buti na lang, I discover Meralias Cola.
Ang inumin na ito ay may iron, taurine at B vitamins. Dinagdagan pa ng fiber.
Pagkainom ko pa lang, ang sarap. Refreshing talaga at sulit pa. Wow, ayos to sa akin. Kapag masigla ang ating araw, mag-Meralias Cola na tayong lahat.
Sulit na, refreshing pa. 15 pesos pa rin.
DM Products Corporation.
Mula sa ginadgad na coconut, gumawa ng masarap na crackers na may lasa ng coconut. Mag-Kamyon Coconut Crackers. Pwede itong kainin kahit saan at kailanman. Kamyon Coconut Crackers. Feel the sweetness of coconut.
And we are back. It is now 7:05 p.m. Philippine Standard Time, and yes, we are back with ASPHERE'S Cafe. Now, for some reason, my parsec input is acting up, and I'm not even sure why. But now I think I managed to solve the problem. But yeah, okay. So we're going to talk about the next. We're gonna talk about the next article, and that is from Windows Latest. And well, what do we know? Huh? Well, what do we know? Let me get my screen share up here. There it is. So as you can see, Samsung update has managed to destroy Windows 11 PCs or some. So let's read from Windows latest. This week's incident where some Samsung PCs are no longer able to access the C drive and all apps are crashing is the perfect example of OEM bloat causing trouble. So this is a good reminder that if you buy a new PC, especially the one that comes with OEM bloat, you should consider reinstalling Windows 11 using the Microsoft image. The general consensus is that Microsoft is at fault when something goes wrong with Windows 11, and it's a fair assumption. Microsoft's reputation is at an all-time low, so if something breaks on Windows 11 installations, it's easy to assume it's the Windows giant's fault. Well, this is not the case. So, around the same time, Samsung Desktop and Galaxy Book owners started reporting that they were no longer able to access the C drive, which appeared to be blocked. As a result, apps installed on the drive could not be opened. Moreover, some basic Windows operations, including fingerprint login, also stopped working due to the issue. So, in the research, Windows latest found that the first complaints date back to the second half of February when no Windows updates had been released. The issue may be... Oh, it lagged here. Anyway, so... On February 14, 2026, users on Reddit reported that their Galaxy Book had been hit with an annoying issue where they could not open the system drive and instead saw a vague error. C drive is not accessible. Access is denied. So one user tried to investigate the problem and traced it to Samsung Connect. These apps are mostly pre-installed on Samsung PCs or downloaded through Samsung software. In this case, the Galaxy Book Experience app also installs the Connect app, which allows you to share your screen with an external display. So they have also seen references to the Samsung Storage app, Samsung Storage Share app as the root cause, but the problem appears to be more complicated than initially expected. So in a support document, Microsoft confirmed that it worked with Samsung and found that the issue by the Connect app, not the March 2026 Windows update. Oof. So Microsoft noted in an updated support document saying affected devices encounter the issue when users execute common actions such as accessing files, launching applications, or performing administrative tasks and do not require any specific user action beyond routine operations. In some cases, users are also unable to elevate privileges, uninstall updates, or collect logs to. Some users have suggested that Galaxy Connect itself may not be the only problem, as the issue could also be linked to firmware or Samsung's factory image. Windows latest understands that some Samsung firmware images may contain broken drive permission data in the background. So the system may appear to work normally for a while, but when Galaxy Connect or related Samsung sharing services interact with those permissions at the root of the C drive, Windows may encounter a bad configuration and lock the drive. So this also explains why early reports pointed to storage share folder, or similar Samsung tools. They may all be part of the same Samsung ecosystem around device sharing and folder access, so users likely notice different names depending on what was installed, updated, or visible on the PC. Microsoft believes the issue is linked to the Galaxy Connect app and has already pulled the app from the Windows Store. While the issue affects only Samsung apps or devices, it's a reminder for all users that OEM software can cause problems, and you should always consider reinstalling Windows 11 from Microsoft's official ISO file. Most enterprises follow the same strategy, as it's also recommended by IT admins. So there you go. If you thought that Microsoft broke the update for Samsung devices, think again, because Samsung is clearly at fault for not checking the update properly, and yeah, now we know. So yeah, there you go. What are your thoughts on on this one? If you have a Samsung device, because as much as you want to hate on Microsoft, this is more on this is more on Samsung's this is more on Samsung's skill issue. So take note as you may will. All right, now let's move on to the next one, and this time this is really crazy, or pretty crazy, because Microsoft is using AI slop. Yeah, I can now call it Microslop to promote Windows 11 features, and it's painfully obvious. So, if you look at the headline image, yeah, made by Copilot with the arrow there. Yeah, look at that. You can see that the desktop, that their desktop is AI generated. Like, it didn't even get the edge icon right, and heck, the Chrome icon is off looking too. So let's read. Let's read this, because this one is very pretty. Or I should say, this one is very spicy to read. So as of writing, Microsoft has a market cap of around $3 trillion, and the company is more than equipped to hire A-list celebrities for its promotional materials, which is true. But even then, at the time when Windows 11 is despised for the excessive AI push, the software giant decided to use Copilot to generate creative images with people in them, all in the name of showcasing the OS features. Microsoft has a dedicated Windows Learning Center page, which we will browse in a bit, where the company puts out a bunch of explainer and how-to blogs about several features in Windows 11. By late 2025, Copilot got ChatGPT's power image generation capabilities, which was when Microsoft experimented with using AI-generated images in these blog posts. Windows latest first noticed the tag AI art created via Copilot as a caption under the embedded image and almost all blog posts in the Windows Learning Center in 2026. The decision to include AI-generated images isn't uncanny for Microsoft, even for blogs meant to promote the built-in tools and features in Windows 11, considering that the company uses every chance they get to let the average Windows user know about Copilot. So, to be fair, the header image or feature image in these blog posts does not use AI, at least they hope so, since AI generated images have become indistinguishable nowadays or these days, and Microsoft doesn't explicitly mention the use of AI under these header images. So, if you open any recent blog in the Windows Learning Center, scroll down a bit and you will see an AI generated image of the particular feature being used by, you guessed it, an AI generated human. Even if you didn't catch the AI-ness of the image, Microsoft pretendlessly added the tag AI art created by Copilot. Of course, this is not a tech startup that can afford to hire studio space or models to shoot promotional images of people using their services or features, rather. This is Microsoft, and the tagline under these images is most definitely an ad for Copilot. Sure, any company has the right to promote its products, but Microsoft isn't in a position to do so, as the company's AI efforts went too far, and social media has developed a deep hatred towards both the company and Windows 11. At a time when Microsoft is getting increasingly mainstream, Microsoft decided the best way to promote Windows features was by showing off more AI. Or, there is an even better reason for Microsoft to avoid using AI to generate promotional images, which is that Copilot can hallucinate. So, you can see the Windows 11 widgets look really off. And how does it even work, right? Yeah, you can see the Windows 11 taskbar, but the Windows 11 the Windows 11 which just does not show like that, huh? It should not show like that at all. I know, if you ask me, it does look off. So let's go back. And if you look at the screen, if you look at the screenshot, yeah, this is exactly how the widget board should look like, while the Copilot got it all wrong. So there is no denying that the blog posts in the Learning Center are useful, but the hatred around Copilot can't be denied. And when an unsuspecting user sees the AI tag, the first thought that comes to their mind would be a negative one that reinforces what they may or what they have already seen or heard on social media, and there, the odds aren't in Microsoft's favor. Whoops, you saw nothing. You saw nothing. Anyway, Microsoft's reputation is at an all-time low, and people are using every chance they get to switch to or from Windows to Mac OS or Linux. While Linux is reserved for advanced users, Mac OS was an instant dream for many because of the Apple tax. And as we all know with MacBook Neo, we all saw how MacBook Neo went, and I hate to say this, but if you don't like MacBook Neo, well, MacBook Neo sales are doing well right now. There's no denying that, huh? So on the opposite spectrum, Microsoft is getting trashed online, so much so that fake stories, which we did cover it last Friday, that say the company banned the term Microsoft in-store reviews are still believed by the public despite us debunking it. Yes, Microsoft has promised to fix Windows 11 with real performance improvements, long requested features, and less AI push. But escaping such deep-rooted backlash isn't easy, and it doesn't help when Microsoft decides to favor AI in place of human creativity. The only way for Microsoft to become a consumer-loved brand is by promoting human creativity through Windows and Windows PCs, something that Apple has mastered for its own products. For example, Microsoft's Clip Jump is nothing compared to the likes of Apple's iMovie, which is free, by the way, unlike Microsoft's video editor that restricts features with a freemium model. Let's not forget, speaking of Clip Jump, let's not forget that the 1080p exporting was once locked behind the paywall before they made it free. Yeah, let's not forget that. So Microsoft can start supporting creativity by first removing AI features that question the ability of humans, like the obvious Copilot button in apps such as Notepad and Paint. As Nike likes or promotes athletes, Microsoft can make Windows better suited for creators. While power users want Windows 11 to function the way the OS did in the ways of Windows 11, they don't make the bigger pie. A large chunk of Windows users are regular people who use the OS because they have to, not because they want to. And macOS is a staple for the reason that it's generally easier to use for creators who are the ones who promote Apple products on platforms like YouTube. Windows lacks this desirability. So it is no surprising that we are seeing Microsoft using Copilot to do the job for help or learning articles. And yeah, if you do ever encountered, or I should say, if you encountered an Copilot AI generated image, don't be surprised that it's Microsoft who did that. So yeah, I really don't know about this one. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, what are your thoughts on this one? Because yeah, it sounds really crazy if you're asking me. Yeah, it does. So let us know if you're still going to stick with Windows, or if you wanna move to Mac OS or Linux. Let me know about this one. Okay, with that with the two now done, let's head over to the rest of our tech headlines, and I'm going to be looking for one right now. Let me see okay, smartphone news, we'll save that for the last round later. Before we end the cafe, we'll save that for later. Everything smartphone news, everything smartphone headlines, even the weekly poll will be done in the last gap, not this gap. So yeah. Okay, well, it looks like the Xbox One, the OG Xbox One rather, not the later models, but it has been jailbroken. And I think this opens more possibilities. This opens more possibilities for people to hack into their Xbox Ones if they still have one. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, according to Windows Central, the Xbox One has officially been jailbroken. So let's see how. I know this might be long, but okay. So it's a 57-minute long video. Again, well, I'm not gonna go too much on that, but wow. So let me just play bits of how he managed to hack into how he managed to jailbreak an Xbox. Let's see. All right, so they have their. So this was showcased in Reversed Orlando 2026, as we all know, and yeah, I do see. By the way, if you're asking me why to put a solder there, which is pretty interesting, and if we go further, what he did, if we go further, he also managed to inspect the retail postcodes. So if I interpret it right, the SP0 and SP1 got nothing, while SP2 had results. Really nice. Now let's play a little footage of how everything is done. So I will let him speak for himself for this one.
Those little yellow lines where you're seeing wiggling, those are postcodes being enabled. Normally that line should just sit flat the entire time. You can see me zooming in on my voltage glitch. And then shortly after, you see postcodes come wiggling out. I'm booting the system hundreds of times right now. And so this was a really critical moment because what it made me realize here, we got stuck.
Okay. If we go further, if we skip to this section, so what he tried to do is to get the thing or get the motherboard to work, or by glitching it out, or what he did was basically glitching the motherboard. Let's see what he has to say there.
You can see kind of maybe the shape of my glitch, not that I tried to tune it that much, but it's about 100 nanoseconds or so, 100, 200 nanoseconds. And yeah, this is kind of the resulting output. So we're actually kind of starting to see postcodes come off. This is what you would expect. Postcodes are fused off. But then when we glitch them on, we now have all this new activity, and we can actually start studying the boot in a meaningful way. And so this is me just hooking up all the post lines to a voltage shifter so I can work with them on the teensy and my logic analyzer easier. This is kind of what my setup is looking like at this point. And yeah, these are kind of our progress updates so far. So we demonstrated the first ever meaningful glitches to Xbox One. Nobody has ever done this. And so it really broke the illusion that this chip would be unhackable, that even gods can bleed, right, after all this time. So we're actually gonna talk about the boot ROM now at a more technical level. So it's a 64 kilobyte immutable.
Okay, so this section is where he talks about the boot ROM, and if we go to the partial system diagram, this is what you will see in the motherboard. You have the NAND chip, you have the sword bridge. I believe this is, I'm not sure, but I believe that is where it's holding the SMC. I don't even know what that means, but here we have the SoC, which I'm pretty sure it stands for System on Chip, and then you have the GPU, CPU, and the PSP, CCP, SCP, and then you have the DRAM there. So that's the partial system diagram. And if we go to the next one, he managed to snoop the eMFC.
Probe. This is about 25 megahertz versus maybe like gigahertz going on the PCI bus. And so if we tap just one of the flash signals, we can see where the boot ROM is actually reading the next stages. And so again, we're kind of getting some more introspection. We're building up all our signals. And then you can see where they read the header of the next stage, and then 80 milliseconds, they do all this stuff just to be annoying. They try to pack everything in there. They do some self-tests. They try to verify the header. They do revocation checks. They do lots of stalling. They do key unwraps for the decryption. And then finally, they start reading the body, and then they'll decrypt the body and whatnot later. But we need to zoom in. So the SP1 header is actually read in two different kind of bursts because it's almost 900 bytes. And so if you know anything about DIS and MMC and whatnot, sectors are usually 512 bytes. So you can see where the MMC bus is reading it, and then where we speculate it should be transferring over PCI. So again, our green bus and our red bus. We have not probed the red bus, but we can speculate based on timings that this is what's happening. And then it happens again. So there's, again, two bursts because they're trying to read in this whole header because the header is so big because they want to put two signatures and all these kind of like validators in there. And our goal is seeing if we can actually glitch one of those PCI transfers. And so what we're going to be targeting is the memcopy. Specifically, over the past decade, memcopy, with regard to fault injection, has become an extremely attractive target because the execution states within memcopy are highly polluted with attacker control data. And so it's not that memcopy is unsafe or like there's a bug in memcopy. It's that if something goes wrong within memcopy, there's a higher chance of things going wrong in your favor. So think of memcopy as a...
All right, so that's him explaining what memcopy means. I'm not gonna go too much, but we're going to find a section where he managed to successfully hack into an Xbox One or jailbreak an Xbox One. So let's go to the Bliss hack.
And so I have a video, and so this is essentially my lab, and we're streaming the first ever attack here. And so what you're going to see is you're going to see something pop up on the screen of the oscilloscope. I've kicked off the glitch on the right side, this double glitch setup. The spooky lab. And essentially the glitch landed, the double glitch landed, and we dumped all of the E fuses. We have full code execution of the boot ROM, the 0SP. So this is me just scrolling through the boot ROM or the fuses. But you'll see essentially I start dumping the boot ROM at the top here, a little message for me. You can see Microsoft's copyright string. They said, do not unlawfully hack, circumvent, reverse engineer, or glitch.
But he managed to hack it anyway. Yeah, even the audiences are laughing. But yeah, so you can see very closely, he managed to see the copyright text saying Microsoft Corporation, all rights reserved. Do not unlawfully hack, circumvent, reverse engineer, glitch, modify or copy. But too late. He managed to jailbreak an Xbox One by hacking the boot RAM or boot ROM.
Hack, circumvent, reverse engineer, or glitch. And then all the things I'm scrolling through are essentially me driving the crypto engine to decrypt all of the later stages. So we can decrypt 1SP, 2SP, the 2BL, the streaming crypto processor firmware. We have access to everything. We can patch everything. We can decrypt everything. We can boot anything from the boot ROM down. And so this is just a picture in case it didn't, the video didn't work for whatever reason. And so,
all right, so there you go. You just saw how the Bliss hack is being done. And if we go to the presentation now, you can see there are many, or I should say, 4 steps. So you got glitch to skip MPU enablement, which allows USR to tamper with supervisor memory, which also gives RWX for free. The second option, and you have glitch to hijack PC as USR, which jump USR into partial SP1 header and read in. The shellcode executing as USR, which can carefully corrupt save supervisor registers because MPU is off, and execute supervisor call SPC0 and hijack supervisor execution via corrupted LR. And finally, it achieves arbitrary code execution as supervisor during SPO or SP0, and no higher privilege on the entire system. How cool is that, right? And if we go to the logical breakdown of the boot ROM and SP0, so this right here is where he managed to hijack the fetch SP1 header. And you can see that these highlighted executions before any irreversible key transformations. And for the consequences right here, this is where you can see it obtains arbitrary code execution. This level of compromise enables the ability to decrypt, load, patch, and execute on-site code at every level. Oracle access to CCP, enabling the decryption of all games, firmware, content, and updates. Better console repairability, unpaired NAND. Yes. So about the unpaired NAND, I can say this is really a good thing because as you know that most of the if you are aware with the lockdowns on repairs by Apple, yeah, they do part pairing. But with this one, yeah, they made it possible. So this is pretty cool. And if we go to, I believe this was showcased, or not showcased. This was covered last almost a decade from now, huh? This was held at Xbox, or I should say, Platform Security Summit. Yeah, or I should say this Platform Security Summit held from October 1st to 3rd, 2019 at Redmond, Washington. So I believe Tony Chan has a very good explanation in how the security architecture works for the Xbox One system on chip. Again, I have no knowledge with this one, so I will be putting the link in the video description if you're interested in knowing more how it works. And I will also be leaving the link for the full version of the Reverse Orlando 2026 keynote on how the Xbox One was hacked in the video description or on the show notes as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy that this is going to be a wild ride for Xbox One, the OG Xbox One, because remember when they said that Xbox One is impossible to be hacked. Now you know that this one is going to shock the hacking community, as we all know. So right, so personally, again, I would say I am very excited for this development because this will allow hackers to dive deep into how the OG Xbox One was done, and yeah, I am genuinely very excited for that one. So yeah, let us know in the comment section down below on your thoughts on this. Okay, so now some outlines of I don't know if this is about the greedy OpenAI CEO or the delusional CEO rather. Okay, yup. Okay, personally, Should I trust his words really? I don't know. But anyway, according to Windows Central, it looks like that Sam Altman wants to turn AI into utility like water or electricity. God save me from this one, huh? But uh, I would say not sure yet. Not sure yet, huh? Not sure yet. So um, let's read what OpenAI CEO might be cooking if they want to turn AI into a utility. So, speaking at the BlackRock Infrastructure Summit in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, the executive suggested that artificial intelligence will eventually be treated as a basic utility like electricity or water, measured by usage. So Altman's idea of paying for intelligence like an electricity or water bill doesn't seem far-fetched. Of course, there's a free tier for services like ChatGPT, but OpenAI has found a creative way to make money of it by integrating ads into the user experience, which I have already discussed it. If you haven't already, you can check my previous episodes of the cafe. So reports suggest that advanced AI scaling might have already hit a wall, citing a lack of high-quality content for model training and computing power. So Sam Altman indicated that demand for AI is skyrocketing, which no wonder why we are suffering from the RAM shortages, and of course, jacking the prices up because of that. And research labs are building toward a future where intelligence is delivered on demand. So the executive said, quote, one of the most important things in the future is that we make intelligence, to borrow an old phrase from the energy industry that didn't quite work, too cheap to meter, end quote. At the end of the day, as the demand for AI surges, computing power will likely become more scarce. As such, AI firms will be forced to charge more per unit for model tokens or just not meet demand. So there you go. And honestly, I really have no sympathy for Sam Altman. Even though I do believe that the AI is really useful as a research tool, but I personally do not believe that AI should become a utility. Just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't believe that AI should be a utility. It should stay as a research tool, in my opinion, because there is no way, okay, there is no really way it's going to help, okay? There is no way. So, yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Sam Altman uh, wanting to how do I say this? Wanting to turn AI into a utility, and I'm not buying it. Sorry, I am not buying it. Okay, I am not buying his words on this one. I'm sorry. Okay, I am so sorry. I'm not buying it. Okay, we got one more before we take our last commercial break now, and let me just find more while I'm looking for one. And by the way, shout out to our fellow new TOC, RJ. Hello, RJ. Shout
Hey
out to
there.
you, man.
Hey there. Good evening.
Good evening, because I know you will soon be part of the ASPHERE'S Cafe TOC instead of me. So, yeah. In the meantime, RJ, you'll be seeing how I operate the show, and then eventually you will understand you will get used to it, right? But you saw how it works earlier, right?
Yes, yes.
Nice. By the way, how are you, RJ? How are you, RJ?
Um, I could say that at the same time I feel good, and at the same time I feel overwhelmed because it's like I didn't expect that there's a difference between live streaming online and live streaming with the TOC, because I found out that there are complicated things, but 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 until the but not until It's just a like what do we call
Mm-hmm.
yeah and whatever anyway, so we will see you next day or something. Yeah, but by the way, Cairo, thank you for inviting me as your TOC, and
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you
You're
very much.
welcome. You're welcome, RJ. I really appreciate it. And yeah, that's our newest TUC member, which will be assisting my show and soon the Dreamy Show. So again, I believe starting tomorrow or Wednesday, he will be operating my show. Am I right? Am I correct, RJ?
Yes, Cairo, of course.
Right. So yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give an applause to our newest DOC member. It's because once again, tomorrow tomorrow Wednesday, he will be helping out on operating my show instead of me because I'm the host. Because currently I'm the host and TOC at the same time operating my show. But thankfully, with the assistance from RJ or the newest TOC member, he will be helping me out on operating ASPHERE'S cover. So yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you, RJ. Nice to meet you,
Yes.
man.
Yes. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you too.
I see you're excited too. Right, you're excited, right?
Yes.
All right, all right. If you want to stay, feel free. But I will be covering one more before we take a break, and that is with Meta laying. I don't know if this is paywall. Let's just make sure it's not paywall because I've been hit with a paywall before. Okay, so if it all goes well, we can talk about this one. So it looks like Meta is reportedly laying up to 20% of its staff. According to Reuters and The Verge, Meta is looking to offset spending on AI and data centers from a massive round of layoffs. Sources familiar with the matter say the company could lay off as much as 20% of its staff, eliminating roughly 15,800 positions. That will be the largest series of layoffs at the company since it terminated 22,000 workers over just a few months between November 2022 and early 2023. Word of the potential downsizing comes as Meta signaled that it was all but giving up on VR and the metaverse, slashing budgets and closing studios. Instead, the company has been spending big to attract AI talent, build data centers, and acquire companies like Moldbook. Amid all this, the company has also repeatedly found itself in hot water over its smart glasses, chatbots, and its impact on teens. So when The Verge asked for comment, Meta spokesperson Andy Stowe said, "This is speculative reporting about theoretical approaches." So, yeah. While the company is going all in on AI, but they're cutting back on non-AI divisions. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not working in AI, there is uncertainty that's gonna strike you. So yeah, there you go. I wanna know your thoughts in the comments down below because yeah, if you are working in Meta right now, how does this affect you? I would love to know. All right, it is now 7:45 p.m. and now we will be taking our last commercial break now as we will be getting into our smartphone weekly poll and along with the results from last week and this week's smartphone weekly poll plus all of the smartphone headlines you need to know right here on ASPHERE'S Cafe. Stay along with us as ASPHERE'S Cafe will return after the break. We will be right back. Stay along with us.
Pagkagising sa umagang umangon at kumain ng sapat Gatas ang kailangan para lumusog ang katawan Pero may solusyon dyan, ito ang MSI Gatas Uminom ng MSI Gatas
Ada Morel po, mag-MSA Gatas para iinumin ang gatas. Sarap. Mag-MSA Gatas na. 69 na piso SRP sa suking tindahan.
The use of milk supplements must only be upon the advice of a health professional.
Kung ikaw ay nagtataka, ito ay isang napakasarap na adobo. Pero bakit napakabango? Ang sikreto ni Mommy ay Ospen Toyo. Ito ay fermented, gawain ito sa pinakamahusay na kalidad ng soybeans mula sa sakahan, sobrang sarap, sobrang dekalidad, at syempre, safe gamitin ayon sa Food and Drug Administration. Para sa iyong pamilya, pipiliin ng lahat ang pinakamahusay na brand. Ospen Toyo, sulit sarap!
Dito na tayo sa JA, kung saan lahat ay okay sa JA. Lahat dito ay super mura, lahat mga manga handa dito sa JA. Sa JA, napatunayan na ng bayan, wala namang iba. Quality shopping ang aming dala, mapapa-JA talaga kayo. Ang supermarket namin ay JA.
I'm an all-around media personality. Of course, I read books. Because not only they gave me knowledge, but they're also a form of entertainment. What you're seeing right now are few of the best-selling brands of GSCA Kent Media. At iilan pa yan, marami pa yan ha. Basta, hanapin nyo lang ang logo na to. The Philippines' leading premier #1 awesome publisher GSCA Kent Media. Because reading is indispensable.
Di biro ang maging newscaster at president and CEO. Dati, sa office inaantok pa ako at napapagod. Buti sa tulong ng Lion Energy Drink, lumakas pa ako. Bukod sa taurine, vitamin B complex at ginseng, ay mayroon ring vitamin C para lumakas ang immune system. Kaya ako'y matibay at masigla ang aking trabaho. Lakas ka with Lion Energy Drink. From Godwin Enterprise.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Lion Energy Drink ay hindi dapat at hindi maaaring gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Antukin pa rin ako tuwing umaga. Napakahirap talagang gumising at yun, late ako parati sa programa. Kapag maganda ang gising ko, sisigla pa rin ako sa tulong ng Tengu Coffee Drink. Ito ay may tamang tapang ng kape na may asukal at creamer. 3-in-1 sa tapang at sarap. Ang tapang, ang sarap. Try nyo. Basta may Tengu, gigising ka.
PDM. Hay naku, nakaka-stress talaga ang traffic. Pagdating ko sa bahay, napahiga na lang ako sa sopa. Yun tuloy, sumakit na ang ulo ko. Reset.
Headache? May solusyon dyan. Introducing PD Pharma Paracetamol Anti-Fever Capsule. Bukod sa lagnat, panlaban rin yan sa sakit ng ulo. May bisa ng paracetamol para balik sigla ka na mula umaga hanggang gabi.
Ayos na ng pakiramdam ko ah. Salamat sa PD Pharma Paracetamol.
Basta paracetamol, hanapin ang nakatatak. PD Pharma.
Ang pagiging news anchor at journalist, hindi biro ang naging trabaho ko. Mula sa aking pagbasa ng script hanggang matapos ang aking newscast. Hay nako, nakakapagod talaga. Ang saklap pa. Buti na lang, I discover Miralia's Cola.
Ang inumin na ito ay may iron, taurine at B vitamins. Dinagdagan pa ng fiber.
Pagkainom ko pa lang, ang sarap. Refreshing talaga at sulit pa. Wow, ayos to sa akin. Kapag masigla ang ating araw, mag-Miralia's Cola na tayong lahat.
Sulit na, refreshing pa. 15 pesos pa rin.
DM Products Corporation.
Mira drinking water. Fresh, cool, calm.
Nutro low-fat milk. It has the same peri-neutral goodness with lesser fat and lesser calories. It's rich with even more vitamins and minerals. 4 nutrients, less fat, less calories, so good you'll float. Nutro low-fat milk. Breast milk is still best for babies.
Iron, taurine, and B vitamins is the key for PD Cola.
PD Cola!
25 pesos lang, sang ka ba?
Innova Power G6. Fast, sleek, reliable, affordable. Now equipped with Ryzen 7000 series CPU, Radeon RX 7000 series, 1TB SSD storage, and 32GB RAM. Enough to fulfill your needs.
Innova.
Mira drinking water. Fresh, cool, calm.
Mabango ang hair. Hindi lang ang hair, smooth pa rin. Thanks to ASPHERE'S shampoo with 100% natural coconut cream. May long-lasting bango, kaya di lang mabango, bango smooth pa.
Canyon Choco Biscuit. With extra chocolate and extra creamer in one biscuit, will give a delicious chocolate taste. You'll want to try it again.
Canyon Choco Biscuit. Feel the Choco vibes.
Uminom ka ng tinted cola sa isang malakas na lasa para masigla ang araw mo. Try na? Sarap, di ba? Available din sa mga bayan na walang sugar at 500 ml at 1 litro ng bote. Tinted Cola, refresh your life.
Pagdating sa kalusugan ng pamilya, kailangan safe. Ang toyong dapat yung suriin, dapat pasado sa Food Safety Standards Evaluation kasama ang level ng 3 MCPD. Ang DM soy sauce, pasado yan. Safe gamitin, safe sa inyong pamilya. DM soy sauce, ito ay safe. Bilang isang journo at isang host ng sarili kong programa, hindi talaga biro ang trabaho. At kapag pagod, sisigla pa rin ako with the Miralles Cola Grape. Miralles Cola Grape with iron, taurine, B vitamin. Nasigla ang araw ko. Nasigla ang araw with Miralles Cola.
PDM. Wala kaming commercial. Pwera na lang sa commercial nito, oo. Oo naman. Pero, meron ba kaming bagong produkto? Meron ba kaming iaalok sa inyo? Meron ba kaming kinuhang artista o sikat na personalidad para i-endorse kung ano mang inaalok namin? Siyempre, ang sagot niyan, wala. Literal na wala. Wala kami niyan, Chong.
Ang boring dito. Hanap na lang kaya ako ng maiinom.
Ang refreshing!
Refresh your day. Feel alive with Chaos Cola. Also available, Chaos Soda.
Woo! 25 pesos lang. Sulit. Bin na.
Uminom ka ng tinted cola sa isang malakas na lasa para masigla ang araw mo. Try na? Sarap, di ba? Available din sa mga bayan na walang sugar at 500 ml at 1 litro ng bote. Tinted Cola, refresh your life.
Nutro low-fat milk. It has the same creamy neutral goodness with lesser fat and lesser calories. And now, it's rich with even more vitamins and minerals. 4 nutrients, less fat, less calories, so good you'll float. Nutro low-fat milk. Breast milk is still best for babies.
And we are back. It is now 7:56 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. And now let's continue with our tech cafe sessions right here on ASPHERE'S Cafe. Okay, so let's get into We are no RJ, we are already back. We are already back to the show because we're going to be diving further into the smartphone news now. So, uh, let's get my screen share up. Let me just find some smartphone headlines right here. Wait a minute. Weekly poll. And the weekly poll results. Okay, let me just zoom in there. All right, let's get the screen share up now. Let's get the screen share up now. And then, yeah. Okay. All right, here is our weekly poll results right now. It looks like the iPhone 70e is too cheap to cost $600. So here is the results for the iPhone 70e. We got yes, I won one with the 304 votes, with sitting with a percentage of 10.3%. Maybe it depends on reviews with 160 votes, sitting at a percentage of 5.4%. I'll wait for a lower price with 380 votes sitting at 12.9%. I prefer the iPhone 60e with 41 votes. I want an iPhone 17 instead with 667 votes, sitting with a percentage of 22.6%. I'll get one of the premium iPhones with 230 votes, sitting with a percentage of 7.8%. I don't want an iPhone with 927 votes with a percentage of 31.4%, and none of the above with 244 votes, sitting at a percentage of 8.3%. So yeah, Apple might want to make the price down further, and yeah, I don't think people are gonna buy for the price. All right, now for this week's smartphone weekly poll, it looks like we got nothing Phone 4a and 4a Pro, and they want to see if the fan base will say yes. So, despite branching into the lower and higher end segments, Nothing is still primarily a mid-range company, which still is. The fourth generation started shipping this week with the vanilla model, though the Pro is only now starting its pre-order pace. The Nothing 4A closes the all-important camera gap with a 50 megapixel 3.5 times 800 millimeter telephoto module. In fact, its camera is almost identical to that of the 4A Pro. Last year, the superior camera hardware was the major reason to pay the Pro premium. And now this year, the two models differ mainly on build and performance. The vanilla 4A will not see a huge performance jump from the 3A. Yes, it uses faster storage, but UFS 3.1 isn't the fastest, and the Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 is only marginally better than the 7S Gen 3. The model also uses the older LPDDR4X RAM. The Nothing 4A Pro has an aluminum frame, a first for the A series. With this and the graphmetric display on the back, it looks more like last year's Phone 3 flagship than an A series model. The regular 4A has a plastic build, but it still is solidly built. The other thing that the Pro has is a Snapdragon 7 Gen 4. This brings a more tangible upgrade to performance, especially in graphics. Okay, it helps that the chipset is connected to LPDDR5X RAM and a favored chamber for cooling. Now, there are a few other devices, but the build and the chipset will be the key factors when deciding between the Nothing Phone A and the 4A Pro. The graph designs are quite different. The 4A has a simple bar, while the 4A Pro has a dot matrix display. So for the price comparison for the Nothing 4A and 4A Pro, here are your prices for each respective regions. For Europe, for the for the base model being the 8 gigabytes and 128 gigabytes of storage, the 4A will start at 350 euros, the UK being 350 pound and 32,000 Indian rupees. And the base storage for the Phone A Pro, or the price rather, it will be around 480 euros, 500 pounds in UK, 40,000 Indian rupees, and $500 in the US. Yes, the Phone A Pro will be sold in the US. Yes, for the first time, it will be sold in the American market. Now, there are more configurations to choose from, but I'm not gonna read it, but you get the idea how the prices will look like. So here is the Phone A Pro. Sorry, no. So I mean, now we are moving. Now let's move into. Now let's move into. Let's now move into. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oops. Wait. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So. Now let's start with our weekly poll. Our first weekly poll for Nothing Phone A. And well, here are your options for Nothing Phone A. What do we have? Will you buy the Nothing Phone A? Yes, I want one. Maybe it depends on reviews. No, not at this price. I want the Nothing Phone for a Pro instead. I prefer a Nothing phone. There are better mid-rangers out there. I don't want a mid-ranger, and none of the above. Those are your options for the Nothing 4A. Now for the 4A Pro. Pretty much the same, but it's a bit different. So you got, I want the Nothing Phone 4A instead. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty identical to the first poll. But yeah, either way, you have your options for the Nothing Phone 4A Pro. So ladies and gents, that's the weekly smartphone poll for this week. And now, will you be going out to buy phone 4A or phone A Pro, or will you be skipping them? Vote now in their website, or vote now on GSM Arenia's website. I will be leaving them in the show notes, so you guys can start voting. All right, now we are not done, yeah. We are not done just yet, because I will be looking for some of the smartphone articles now. So we got, let's see, what do we have? Hold on, my right ear is very itchy at the moment. Okay. Okay, yeah, I do it. It's very itchy. Okay, so we got, I'm finding one. By the way, of course, I don't know if there are people, if there are anyone actually watching my ASPHERE'S Cafe Ask Media live stream right now. I don't know if Tongo's actually watching it, because yes, by the way, guys, Tongo is one of my colleague, right? My best friend colleague now. I mean, he found my show, and yeah, the rest is history. So yeah, he often makes a comment on one of my shows, if not most of the time, but sometimes. But yeah, he makes he drops by to my show sometimes when he's when he feels like it. So yeah, I don't know. I'll check if there are people, if there anyone watching my stream right now. Let me just check the numbers. We do have people. We do have one people watching. I don't know if that's Tonko. Is that you, Tonko? Is that you, Tonko? Hold on. Is that you, Tonko? It's you! It's you, Tongo. Hello! Hey, Tongo. Hello, Tongo. Welcome. Hey. Hello, Tongo. Alright, so let me read the live chat comments from Tongo. Nothing phone. Heard of that before. So he saw a vid by Mr. Who's the Boss. Oh yeah, so about Mr. Who's the Boss, I don't watch him anymore as I used to back then because my watching how do I say this? My watching the way how I watch videos has shifted drastically. So I only watch Gamers Nexus. I only watch some other gamers. Who else? Fosi, Vex. I forgot the others, but I know the other tech YouTubers I usually watch every morning. Alright, so I mostly comment on live chat. So yeah, I see the effort I got there, Tongo. And about the one that I just made a take on the about the one that I just comment on Mr. Who's Boss. And he said, and me neither. I don't really see his vids on my recommendations. Same. Sometimes I do get it, sometimes I don't. Even though I don't watch his videos, sometimes I still get it regardless of tech videos I watch. Auto is living the life. Nice. He got a... Ooh, congrats to him. That's really nice. Yeah, that is really nice to hear Mr. Who's the Boss. Yeah, that's really nice to see Who's the Boss having his living his new life right now. Really nice, really nice. All right, I will try to keep your chat open, Tonko, because we are now going to the rest of the smartphone news. About I'll try to keep your live chat open. I will try to keep the live chat open on my screen, but I'm still finding what am I going to cover. What shows should I cover? Okay, so let's see. We'll start off with the A37 and A57, I guess. Yeah. We got the A37 and A57 having an unbox or hands-on videos already. Oh, wow. Alright, so for real this time, we'll get a screenshot back up now. So you all can have our opinions on this one. So let's get the screenshot back up here. I don't know why they... Okay, nice. On this one. Nice. So let's get the screenshot back up here. I don't know why they... Okay, nice. Okay. Yes, on this one. So, nice. So let's get the screenshot back up here. I don't know why they... A37. Okay, nice. Okay. Yes, on this one. Nice. So let's get the screenshot back up here. I don't know why they... A37. Okay, nice. Okay. Yes, on this one. Nice. So let's get the screenshot back up here. I don't know why they... A37. Okay, nice. Okay. Yes, on this one. Nice. So let's get the screenshot back up here. I don't know why they... A37. Okay, nice. Okay. Yes, on this one. Nice. Let's get this. Here's the A57. The back. 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 Here's the and 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 A57. The back. Gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Very good. Here's the gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Very good. Here's the gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Very good. Here's the gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. Very good. gigabytes of storage. Very 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 gigabytes of storage. Oh yeah, audio caption. Audio caption. I don't know what happened. What? I don't know why. I don't think that should happen. Let me. Okay. Hello? Hello, hello, hello? Audio still broken. Okay. That's pretty odd. Okay, this is not good. I think I am reaching out. Is it fixed? Can anyone confirm before I continue? Is anyone fixed? Is it fixed? It's fixed now. Okay, good. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming. Okay. Where was I again? Okay. So the Galaxy A37 is priced at 13,999 Thai baht, which converts to $430 in the single 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage RAM. Again, as I have said it earlier, it looks like this year the A37 will only have one storage configuration. So if you're going to get A37, that is the exact storage configuration you will be getting when you buy the A37. As for the colors, it will be sold. As for the colors, you have charcoal, gray, green, and lavender colors. Nice. All right. As for the specs now, the A57 is expected to feature a 6.6-inch AMOLED, Full HD plus 120 Hz alongside the Exynos 1680 chipset, 6, 8, 12 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so they do have multiple configurations, and 128 and 256 gigabytes of storage. The phone should have come equipped with a 50 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 5 megapixel macro camera. I will need to teach my new TOC so they cannot control it for now. So, excuse me. They're also expecting a 5,000 milliamp battery with 45-watt charging. The Galaxy A37 is rumored to offer a 6.7-inch AMOLED screen, a 50 megapixel, 8 megapixel, and 5 megapixel triple rear camera setup. Okay, and you got the outdated chipset being the Exynos 1480 SoC and a 5,000 milliamp battery with 45-watt charging. So there you go. That's the Galaxy. To say this, that's the a little bit leak, or technically not leak, but the first look of the Galaxy A57 and A37. So yeah, what are your thoughts on this one? Because this one is for the A57. This really looks to be shaping up like the A no S series looking phone. And Samsung just keeps getting better and better and better and better. So that's the A57. And at for the A37, yeah, there is still some bezels there you are seeing for the A37. So not too surprising for the A37, but again, it's expected how it looks. But for what I'm more excited for is the A57. Yeah. So Tonko said the back honestly looks more like a Google Pixel than a Samsung phone. I mean, yeah, true. Despite despite it's a Samsung looking phone, I still can argue that Samsung makes good phones still. So there's no reason for me to argue with this one. But what I'm bothered for the A37 is still how the A37 looks like right here. This is the A37, huh? There are still some bezels over there and there and there. So yeah. But A57 looks very good. Like, yeah, the A57 really looks very good to me. So yeah, I couldn't complain much. So yeah, ladies and gents, that's the A37 and A57, and man, it looks very nice. I cannot say much, but I can say it looks very, very nice. Okay, so apparently, according to my new TOC member, it looks like there's a problem with the rust test or any test. I have yet to confirm that if that is true. So let me see if there are any issues. Uh-oh, I think I'm losing control with this parsec. Let me just connect to parsec again. Is the CPU acting up? No, it's not. It's not. It looks fine from what I'm seeing on the TOC. But the CPU 0, on the other hand, is yeah, not good. The CPU 0 is not on par with the rest of the CPU cores, which possibly means that it could require a restart, which is not good. Okay, RG in a bit. I will just send. I'll just send the. I'll just send the parsec invite link. But you are still encouraged to use the. You're still encouraged to use the any test though. But I don't think any test is done. Maybe you need to join the Hamachi. I think. I think you need to join Hamachi first. Have you heard of Hamachi before? Because I think that's where it doesn't lag. Because it should be fine. Yeah, Hamachi. Alright, let me type log me in Hamachi, and then yeah, you can join. Okay, I cannot waste any more time. I really look for another. Sure. I think you're only one lagging because the DOC is actually working fine. I think you're the only one that's lagging, RJ. Alright, well, RJ, my newest TOC member, will soon be controlling my show, probably tomorrow. I need to find another set of headlines before we even end our coffee. End our coffee there. Hamachi. Well, it's basically, yeah, something like that, Tonko. Something like that, Toko. It's where you can. It's basically a low latency server. It's a low latency server, Tonko. All right, so let me keep looking for. Let me keep looking for Mark Suite. All right, try reconnecting to the TLC, RJ. Any task. Try reconnecting. Oh wait, never mind. He left. Hey, he left again. Okay, so this one just came into me recently. This one just came recently to me. Vivo and IQO are raising the prices on select smartphones this Wednesday. Ouch. Wonder why. Oh man. And then we got. I already covered the A57. All right, RJ. Okay, RJ, are you hearing me? If so, RJ, try reconnecting to the TOC AnyDesk. If it's still lagging, that means you're lagging. So our TOC is fine. It's just the unfortunate lag. But I don't think. I think you should be fine connecting to Rostest as your last option. Excuse me. Okay, so it looks like it's a little bit slow on smartphone use, so this might in fact be our last one to cover. Okay, so here it is. This is no surprise to be honest with you guys because I mean especially with the RAM shortage. But yeah, this one is very recent news from GSM Arena. So Oppo and OnePlus are raising prices today. Later this week, Vivo and IQO will do the same. In a joint statement, the two brands say that the new pricing will come into effect on March 18 or Wednesday at 10 a.m. local time in China. The statement is for Chinese market, but it's likely that the prices on the global market will be affected as well. Right now, it's not clear which phones will see its price hike. The statement only says specific models. Well, if I have to guess, it's likely that it's gonna affect their higher end phones. As for the budget tier phones, it's a 50-50 to me. So the reason behind this move is no surprise, but Vivo and IQO spell it out anyway. The rising cost of memory and semiconductors. I knew it. I knew the reason, as I have just said. I knew it. Analysts have been warning of upcoming price increases for a while now. Unfortunately, things may be getting worse instead of better, in addition to the impact that AI hyperscalers have had on the market. Now helium supply is at risk, which could affect chip production. So yeah, this is bad. Not bad, but not too surprising to be fair, because what else, right? Coming from an uncertainty from what I'm seeing here. But either way, they don't exactly know what models will be affected by the price hike. But again, my theory is my likely theory is the my likely theory is the higher end smartphones and some budget tier smartphones. Maybe. But yeah, this is really bad. So, what are your thoughts on this upcoming price hike from Vivo and IQ? Because I know Oppo and OnePlus are now jacking the prices up by today. And I don't know if I have talked about this, which I probably didn't. But for OnePlus, it's gonna affect all the models with the price hike, including the Oppo A and K series. But luckily for Oppo, it will not be increased for Reno and 5 series smartphones, so it's gonna stay as is for now. But the A and K series are the ones that will be affected as far as we are concerned. So yeah, unfortunate, but but that's the reality check, ladies and gentlemen. They had to, they will have to take the circumstance by increasing the prices, and we knew this was coming. Whoa! So Tongo said, "Whoa, whoa." Well, a lot of the Chinese phones use chips to Taiwan, and we all know that complicated relationship between China and Taiwan. I guess that's true. I guess that's true, Tonko. I guess that's true. That's true. I guess. But yeah. Either way, unfortunate, but it is what it is. Oh man. All right. 3 minutes before we wrap our coffee up. Up. Why is it? No. No. Okay. All right. 3 minutes before we wrap our coffee up. Yeah. 3 minutes before we wrap our coffee up. So yeah. Yeah, man. This is a really rough one to cover because again, I have been in solo hostings ever since my former host has departed from my show, and yeah, all because he really screwed up. That's because I had to like get rid of from my show. But yeah, RJ, tomorrow you'll be your turn. But at least you know, you may turn on your mic actually, RJ. You may turn on your mic, RJ. It's okay. You may turn on your mic because we're almost done with the show anyway. So RJ, at least you know now how it works, huh? At least you now know how it works.
Yes.
You see how it works, right? How you familiar with that? How it works, right?
Yeah, I see it now.
What do you think? Is it easy? Do you think is this going to be easy task for you, or is it going to take some time for you to get used to it?
There's a thing that will be easy for me depending on the queue, depending on the revised schedule or something. But unless I check it out again because it's in my because it's in my end, it's like not stable or something. Yeah, I think hoping tomorrow I could do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, because starting tomorrow, you will officially be controlling my show. That means I'll just be in the role of hosting. Yay! Less stress, huh? Less stress, less work. Yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for your first contribution to my show. I'm looking forward to that. But again, now you know the basics.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, it's a minute before 8:30 p.m. and unfortunately that brings us to the end of ASPHERE'S Cafe tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. I know I wish I could talk more, but we are running out of time. But don't worry, we will still be talking about technology and all stuff tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we will be covering the anime, manga, and Thursday I might not be there. If I'm there on Thursday, I'll be covering the gaming as well. So yeah. This has been ASPHERE'S Cafe. I'm Caro, and the cafe is now closed. We will be seeing you tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on Cool FM and Cool TV. The cafe is over. See you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Bye bye.
See you tomorrow, guys.